Look, I know what I'm about to eventually say about Jared Fogle may eventually upset you, but it's still worth it to eventually talk about him for a little while. So, remember that one Subway spokesperson by the name of Jared Fogle? Jared Fogle was eventually infamously known for eventually being the Subway spokesperson. He was eventually known for eventually being in commercials ever since the 2000s. People eventually loved on him. Although he eventually lost all his weight by not eating, but because the only thing that he eventually ate was Subway sandwiches. And ever since he eventually did that, he's been losing a lot of weight. You see, in Jared Fogle's early life, he was eventually born in Indiana in 1977. His birth date was August 23, 1977. And ever since that eventually appeared to be his birthday, August 23, that was his birthday, and his zodiac sign was a Virgo. In 1999, at the age of 22, he eventually started eating Subway because he really wanted to eventually lose weight. So, once Jared eventually managed to eventually lose all the weight by eating nothing but Subway sandwiches, everything started to eventually change for him anyway. In 2000, he decided to become the Subway spokesperson after Subway eventually heard his story. He's been eventually making a lot of commercials from the 2000s, the early and the mid and the late 2000s. Everyone eventually loved Jared. Children started eventually liking Jared. Jared got the chance to meet famous people, like comedians or something. And people wanted them to eventually sign his sandwich. Like, they wanted to eventually, get their sandwich signed by Jared. But however, it took a darker turn for Jared. And a couple of years back, he was eventually changing from a nice man to a dark man. He started eventually having a lusty feeling for children, like boys and girls. And once he did that for years, he had a darker side about what's eventually going on. But however, on the date July 7th, 2015, on that date, on Tuesday, things changed. He was eventually caught by the FBI, and the FBI decided to eventually arrest him after what he eventually decided to eventually do anyway. Because he was eventually possession of illegal child porn. That's what eventually happened, is because he likes little boys and girls so much that he decided to possess illegal child porn on his computer. Then after he got himself arrested in 2015, he was really worried he's going to get raped in the showers after what he did. But however, he was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for looking at child porn. And ever since he did that, everything eventually changed for Jared. He's still eventually serving his sentence, and I think he's probably taking footlongs anyway. But still, you shouldn't be looking at little kids, because if you see a crying baby, like if it's a male or something, you don't have to jerk off to it. Alright? That's the thing that's going to eventually happen to you if you do that. Alright? If you want to become the famous Subway spokesperson, then just eventually don't get sexually attracted to children. Because I think that Jared is getting butt raped in prison because of what he did. I think he was a nice man, but now he became a child raper. So if you really want to become the Subway spokesperson, like if you want to be like the mascot of a fast food restaurant, just remember not to masturbate to children. So yeah, that's all I can eventually say. So just please not have a lusty feeling for children, like boys or girls. Just make sure to eventually be a nice food mascot and see a lot of nice people, see a lot like new faces or something. Just be kind-hearted, not a pedophile. That's all I can eventually say for you. So yeah.